Hey folks, you probably know that JPEG and PNG are the two most popular graphic image formats. Do you know the difference between them? Have a look at these two pictures. Can you tell which one is which? It's actually really easy, but first we need to look into the topic a little deeper. Let's discuss how image compression works and when it's better to use PNG and what instances call for the old yet effective JPEG. My name is Victor and this is the PhotoWorks channel. Be sure to smash those like and subscribe buttons and we'll get going. First off, we need to learn the difference between these two format compression approaches. JPEG compresses an image based on neighboring pixels. So if an image has crisp and distinct lines, a JPEG will make those lines blurry and warped, whereas a PNG will keep these lines intact. This means that at least in theory, a PNG is a better choice for a more contrasting image. This goes for logos with a transparent background, blueprints and schemes. But this is just in theory. Does this work in practice? Let's look into it. One of the biggest differences between these two formats is the file size. If a PNG file can weigh 1 megabyte, a similar JPEG file can be twice, thrice, or even 5 times lighter. Let's conduct a little experiment. Let's use any image editor to create a picture with a black background, then paint a barely seen gradient. Let's now save this image as a PNG and a JPEG. When saving the file as a PNG, we won't have to pick the compression degree, but when it comes to JPEG, let's go with the best quality possible. Then let's take the two samples, open them within an image editor, then shrink the color range to only show the visible spectrum. Now you see the difference, right? Where the PNG file was able to maintain and even intensify brightness, the JPEG turns into a pixelated mess. And that's not all. Let's have a look at the size of these two files. The least compressed JPEG is only 50 kilobytes. And the PNG is now over 1.5 megabyte. That is 30 times larger. But it's not all about the size, right? The more colors you have in an image, the fewer transitions and gradients there are, which means that these two formats won't always be 30-fold different in size. Besides, let's have a look at the bitrate of these pictures. The initial bitrate of the image was 16-bit. The PNG kept it intact. JPEG simply cannot support this bitrate. Now I want to make a little detour and talk about image editors. There are tons of options that have both downsides and upsides, but there is an image editor that I truly recommend to all of you who are in need of a convenient program. It's called PhotoWorks. There is virtually no limit to what you can do with this photo editor. You can easily manipulate your pictures with basic and advanced tools, HSL sliders, 3D LUT presets, and more than 200 awesome filters. There are tons of built-in tips and prompts, which means that you'll be able to master PhotoWorks in no time. What's more, this program supports all the popular image formats, as well as provides options for JPEG compression. So if you, like just me, avoid Adobe products at all costs, then direct your attention to PhotoWorks. If you follow the link in the description, you'll be able to try it for free and even order it at an amazing discount. So why wait? Follow the link below and start editing your images like a pro with PhotoWorks. Meanwhile, let's move on. Now let's have a look how these two formats handle color images. Let's take this simple vector image and rasterize it. The picture is simplistic, has very few colors and no gradients. Now let's export it as a JPEG and PNG. As you can see, the PNG is almost identical to the original picture, and the file size is about 90 kilobytes. The JPEG is really similar to the original as well, but look at the size. It is 190 kilobytes. Let's try a different compression degree so that the file sizes are equal. Let's set the quality at 5 instead of 7. And there we go, pixelization all over. Granted, this mess won't be visible unless you really zoom in and inspect it, but the notion that your work has been exported in a less than quality way is really upsetting. But we are now dealing with really simplistic images. I don't think that your photos will have just 3 colors in them. So let's experiment on full color pictures packed with gradients. I'll be using this picture with a girl against the mountain backdrop. If you export this image as a PNG, you'll have great quality with no losses or artifacts. If we export the image as a JPEG, We have a similar result, but have a look at the file sizes, 24 MB versus 12. This might make you think that a JPEG is a great format for economical storage, since it won't take that much of your hard drive space. But it's not that easy. Let's increase the compression level and look at the result. The image is now crawling with artifacts as if it had gone through multiple compression cycles. This is what your JPEG file does to your image. You might also recall that JPEG does not support a 16 bitrate, but what would happen if we exported a PNG in 8-bit? The answer is simple: do not attempt to do it if you value the quality of your images. It's not that it will significantly suffer, but the picture will fall into pixels and have a limited color range. Just to wrap everything up, let's discuss the biggest advantage that a PNG has over a JPEG. Take our channel logo for example. It is a minimalistic color sphere against a transparent background. An alpha channel picture, in other words. Let's save it as a PNG, it seems fine. Let's save it as a JPEG. Now we see a white backdrop. So if you don't want to fiddle with erasing the image background, simply save it as a PNG to forget about this issue once and for all. Just be careful if you are a Windows user. When you copy such an image, you might end up with a black background. Mac users are safe from this. So if you want to copy a PNG file with a transparent background, it's better to download it first. I have very little else to say about these two formats, but there is one thing I want to highlight. I'm no expert when it comes to printing photos, so I can't tell you which format is most suitable for the job. You can determine it yourself by trial and error. And here is a bonus for you, a little chart that will help you pick the most suitable formats out of the two. In case you're only making your first steps in photography or graphic design, this chart will help you quite a bit. Is a PNG the best format to save a flat image in? It depends on whether the image has an alpha channel. If it does, then yes, by all means go with PNG. If there is no transparency in the image, then consider the bitrate you need. Is it 16-bit? Then PNG it is. If you need an 8-bit image, then definitely go with the easy JPEG. An important side note: a new image format is becoming more and more popular online. It's WebP. This format offers a compression that virtually doesn't affect the image quality, and the size is laughably small, like a few kilobytes. If you want to know more about the format, please let me know in the comments. We will surely review these and other available image formats. And that's it for today. Make sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.